So how's the global adoption of AI going? I got a chance to go to the United Kingdom a few weeks ago this month to spend some time with the government, with industry, with our teams, specifically around AI. And I wanted to give you a little readout. I think it's consistent with what we are starting to see. We're seeing a maturation of kind of national approaches to AI. Last year, early in the year, we predicted that it would be really surprising if every country in the world didn't have some kind of sovereign AI strategy or some kind of national approach to AI, and more importantly, within that country, that their industrial base didn't start moving. And I think we've largely seen that. I struggle to find any country in the world that isn't actively thinking about AI. They're at very different stages. Some of them are really just thinking about it, conceptually. Some of them are building data centers. Some of them are enabling their industrial base. Some of them are facilitating the entire country. But the good news is that's happening globally now. Specifically to the UK, I was pretty excited. I saw a few really important dimensions happening. I got a chance to spend time with the AI minister and a bunch of other government officials, and the bottom line is, they get it. They have a lot of work to do. There's lots of things to navigate, but there is a very clear structure and leadership about, AI is important. Even if we don't know all the details, standing still is the wrong answer. And so what we're seeing is the manifestation early, which has already happened, of investment in the research ecosystem, like the work we're doing with the Dawn supercomputer and some of the other tools in the research ecosystem of the United Kingdom. But on top of that, more recently, they've announced a kind of a UK-based sovereign infrastructure strategy to build the data centers necessary to bring the compute in place so that they can do all of the things that potentially sovereign infrastructure or their industrial base may need. That's going to be a important journey. But understanding and recognizing you cannot do AI if you do not have access to the compute to do AI on. And whether that's in your industrial base or in your government or in your research ecosystem, getting that taken care of or having a path in place and a process moving is critical. They have done that. And we're very excited to be a partner in that process. But the bottom line is, not only is there a well-informed governmental leadership that seems to be in place and navigating this complex space and understanding how important it is, but there is also action, and that action is in the research environment, it's in the broad sovereign environment, and even in the regulatory and policy framework. They have put out their rules. They're trying to keep, one of my pet peeves as a chief AI officer is unbounded regulation that doesn't actually think about the implication of what those regulations mean to the industrial base, mean to the citizenry. And I think that their strategy is definitely more calibrated towards a very measured and appropriate use of regulation around AI. So again, tick on government leadership, tick on actual activity to build out the compute necessary to do this, tick on the regulatory regime tends to be kind of in the right swim lane where it's balanced and thoughtful. And then beyond that, I got a chance to spend a great deal of time with our customers and the users of AI. And what we see there is the classic bell curve. There are definitely people in the United Kingdom, like everywhere, that are just getting started and are really struggling. But there are now examples in their financial services sector, in their government entities, in their healthcare sector, in research and academia that are absolutely putting AI into production to do things that are actually important. I saw examples, not naming specific companies, of people building advanced models that will be used in healthcare diagnostics and health research. We saw examples in the financial services sector of the application of AI for fraud detection and advanced security and other areas of predictive analytics and predictive AI. In the healthcare setting, there are huge opportunities around optimizing and automating pieces of the healthcare environment to just bring more efficiency to that system. As you know, in the United Kingdom, they have one of the largest healthcare organizations in the world. It is very important, and quite frankly, anything that makes it run better and more efficiently has a net impact on the quality of health in the country. And so I got a chance to speak to leaders in those organizations, and they are all in figuring this out and starting their early adoption of these technologies. Still a ton of work to do. Still a need to stay focused on a limited number of projects that are business impactful, that achieve a strong ROI. But the bottom line is, my scorecard on the United Kingdom is a pretty solid, grade right now. if you're in the UK, hopefully you're feeling some of the progress, even though we're by no means done. And if you're in other countries, this is a good way to measure how good is your country doing. Does it have good government leadership? Does it have investment in the infrastructure and technologies needed? Does it have a regulatory regime that actually makes sense? And more importantly, do the customers of this, the users of it, the industrial base, actually, do they see a path to actually get to production that will have an impact on the industrial base and the overall quality of experience of being in that country? So I think it's good progress. Just a quick update. We'll do more of these as we go to other countries, and hopefully this is useful to you. Thanks again, and lots more to talk about.